Next, we move to shorter presentations. So we have in line 4 short presentations on interdisciplinarity. And the first presenter will be Professor Kimmo Nuotio from Strategic Research Council at the Academy of Finland, discussing impact through increased interdisciplinarity. Please, Kimmo, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Jaakko, and it's a great honor to be able to speak here today. So it's a bit tough after the great speech of Rita, but I will do my best. I wanted to begin with a bit like a personal note. A few years ago, when I was still the Dean of the Faculty of Law at the Helsinki University, my colleague from the Faculty of Theology, Ismo Dunderberg, made the observation, or we discussed it, just a corridor talk, that according to him, the big changes in the field of theology had constantly occurred when theology as a discipline had been faced with interdisciplinary influences. It was a very simple observation, stunningly simple. And I started reflecting whether in my field, the law, the case was any different. Well, was it? It was not. Also in legal studies, if we look at the last maybe 40, 50 years, a host of critical insights and contestations from especially the social sciences, while partly also humanities, had broadened significantly not only the understanding of what legal scholarship is about, but also what legal scholars could do with the law. It had, for instance, enriched the setup of methodological tools available for looking at law and legal phenomena. And not only that, it simultaneously and even paradoxically also raised the consciousness of what more traditional doctrinal legal scholarship actually is about, and that we need it as well. So we need to also somehow defend the identity of the traditional way of doing things. No one else is doing this interpretation and systematizing of the law. So what we had been undergoing was a very multifaceted learning experiment. I think pretty much in line what Rita Hari was speaking about here earlier. So increased interdisciplinarity seems to work like this. It introduces new perspectives, challenges, forces scholars to sharpen their views on what they are doing. And it's somehow, I would say, a bit unpredictable even what happens when we expose ourselves to the challenges of interdisciplinarity. Exposing oneself to different approaches, learning, dealing with a challenge, having to explain to others what one is doing. There's plenty of things to learn. And no doubt the depth of this interdisciplinarity may indeed vary, as was explained by Professor Hari in great detail. But something surely happens. And the thing is, of course, that these interdisciplinary research settings with a certain experimental feature, they can be also consciously promoted. So if we want to have things going. I would now first differentiate between two sorts of impact. One, impact of interdisciplinarity inside the field of science itself, in this discipline itself. And that was the thing that I actually spoke of earlier. And then, of course, we can talk also about the broader impact, including impact in society, and that is the external thing. And now I would take my real hat, or the other hat, being the chair of the Strategic Research Council of Finland, and talk about a little bit about what we do there and what we have learned about this phenomenon during our operation. So this Strategic Research Council was established in 2015 as part of a larger organizational reform of governmental research institute. Part of the funding of the institutes, which were often working with particular ministries only, the funding was reduced and taken away from the institute for the purpose of doing something new. And the new thing was the strategic research that the council was steering, the new instrument. So there was a new funding instrument created for that purpose. Every year, a couple of research topics would be identified, so big societal problems that would fit a kind of a strategic research. They would be identified by first collecting a lot of information from scholars, society, etc. We would identify a few, and we would make a proposal to the government of Finland, which would finally decide on those themes, and then we would open up a call, create a couple of programs, large research programs that would be addressing these particular societal challenges. Research consortia would be built that would have to be interdisciplinary. Several research institutions would have to be involved in the applications. We would be striving at both academic excellence and also expecting some sort of real societal impact, plans for societal interaction would be part of the call, etc. The programs would run up to 6 years. Now, the first ones of the programs have now ended, and we are getting to see a little bit the results. So did we get anything really by this sort of forced interdisciplinarity? Has it worked? Does it make sense to try to promote impact in this way? Or was it just a waste of time and money? Is it so that true innovation, like many of us still think, that comes from, surprisingly, like a mushroom, just, without any visible cause? Or maybe we can at least increase a little bit the success rate of getting somewhere. Now, strategic research, as we see it, has a variety of specific features. It's not an applied science concept in the sense that we would not be expecting excellence in scholarship. The consortia, they receive rather generous funding, and one aspect of the activities is really collaboration and exchange with the societal actors. So earlier this year, we saw the first results concerning the societal impact of the 4 first programs, and the results were indeed encouraging. It became clear that the societal impact could be sought in a variety of ways. All that could not be predicted. There was also an element of luck and timing involved, but with intelligent organizing of the activities, by being flexible and not following too strict plans, one could clearly show that there were results. But then comes a question whether particularly the interdisciplinarity was relevant there. And now, if I may just very quickly present the really preliminary first real results of what we have seen in this scientific evaluation of the first programs that have ended. And I don't have much time, but I will just quickly give you the preliminary findings. So first, maybe this is the most important thing, is that interdisciplinarity has generated novel concepts and understandings, sometimes through critical confrontation between definitions in multiple disciplines. Then also interdisciplinarity has fostered in those programs methodological development. For example, development of an existing tool or analysis method in a novel context, which enables tackling new important phenomena. Co-production methods, which are used by many interdisciplinary projects, have generated positive interactions with non-academic stakeholders and thereby increased the social impact. Interdisciplinary research has also produced an overall picture of a policy-relevant topic that is informative of the significance of potential threats and fed the results into national-level strategies and planning and decision-making processes. Interdisciplinarity has also yielded new insights by bringing a wealth of international data from several disciplines to bear upon a particular challenge in Finland. It has also given rise to additional opportunities to publish, also in publication outlets that are more forward-looking or of public policy relevance. However, interdisciplinarity may be difficult to detect. Thus, we find some evidence on both dimensions. Interdisciplinarity has indeed increased impact both in the science itself as well as in the society. And the reports actually will be published in a few weeks' time, so you will be having the chance to look more closely to that. Thank you very much.